want to check all the sales transaction that has happened in customer checkout are reflected in Business by Design. So first we'll start with looking at the sales transaction that has happened with the cash payment, credit card payment, the mixed both cash and credit card, and the account sales. So let's take a look at and copy the transaction ID and close it, and open the Business by Design portal. Here go to customer invoicing, point of sales, and in this case the sales transaction, because we're interested in the sales transaction. Click on search for all the sales transaction IDs. So this sales transaction ID should be released in the first place, and click on edit. You will have a details of the company, the external ID, the sales unit, distribution channel, and you could also take a look at the product that is being sold, along with the details of the price and the tax information, the payment terms. In this case, $170 were paid by cash, and this was the amount that was written from the petty cash as a change, and tax details if you are interested, and the document flow is what we are interested. So you have to make sure as an end user the general ledger postings has happened. So you could click on the sales transaction to see what is the general ledger postings. The petty cash amount is moved from one account to the other account, and along with the sales tax information. This is the general ledger posting of the sales transaction. At the same time, there is goods information, goods and activity information, where the stock general ledger related postings has happened, where you could see the postings of material being consumed, so and so, with so and so amount, details are posted. So this is how a sales transaction GL entries looks like in Business by Design. Now let's take a look at the a card transaction. This is a card sales transaction that has happened in customer checkout. The sales item, there are two sales items being sold, and the payment items in this case is a card details that are mentioned and successfully posted. Look at the sales and the tax items. In this document flow, make sure it's released and the relevant GL entries are created. Along with the sales transaction GL entries and the goods activity GL entries, there is another payment order that got created, because it's the payment method is pay by card. Yeah, you can, if you're interested, you can take a look at the GL entries details, which will in detail explain the GL account transactions. And close the transaction, and let's take a look at the mixed payment method transaction, wherein which the transaction has happened for the different items, and what we are interested in the payment items. So as you can see, one paid by cash, where the petty cash information is there, and one paid by card, where the card details are there. And let's take a look at the interesting part is the document flow. It has details of the payment order, because the credit card payment is used. Let's take a look at the sales transaction GL account details. So this is the most interesting part. As you could see here, there's a clearing account involved, because there is a card payment, there's a cash payment involved. That's why there's a petty cash details and the tax information. And goods and activity, which represents the material movement and the relevant GL account entries. Yeah. Now the most interesting part is the payment method account sales. So let's take a look at the details of the sales item that has happened. These are the two items, and the invoice item. This comes up, invoice item comes up only in case of the payment method is by account sales. You could see that the account would pay by so and so time, so and so date, so and so amount. Let's take a look at the interesting part of the GL entries. So in this case, the GL entries would be something like, which would say account receivable by foreign. So this is where the GL posting that has happened, which is different from cash or card payment. Yeah. So This concludes the way we look at the transactions in Business by Design. All are posted into Business by Design. Relevant financial entries and the relevant stock is updated in ByD. Yeah. Now let's take a look at the BI reports. The analytical reports are available, where in which you can even take a look at there are two reports that are available. One is sales transaction, point of sales list, and the volume reports. So you can take a look at one of them, and it launches a report which has all the details of the transaction that has happened today, and you could decide to filter for certain transactions. So let's include all the transactions. So these are the transactions that we are interested in, and you could also include several other fields that if you're interested in. Other fields and organization details, point of sales, batch ID or external system ID, organization, company, sales or unit, sales organization, site, and other details you could include it, and that should come up in the report. So that concludes the transaction in Business by Design.